To me, he's an horseman more than a jockey.
Royston's a very fair and very professional person. He's a very professional jockey.
His professional level is just unbelievable. He's been the same right the way through.
I'm very, very proud.
He works hard, he's very dedicated, he's just a good guy to be around.
He's fulfilling my dream.
Mays knuckling down, has a narrow lead of about a neck. Mays trying to repel the Raiders, just a neck in it up towards the line. Mays veers left-handed, but still I think just does enough to win.
Here's Important Mission dropping out of the sky late. Important Mission going to behavioural bias. What a big upset this one is. It's Important Mission, comes from last, wins by 2. Eastern World over on the inside. It's got away from El Maysan. Well, Eastern World wins by 3.5 lengths.
It's great to be here. We're surrounded by multi-million-pound horses here at Godolphin, but it didn't all start this way, so tell us where it all began.
It began in Donington, Telford, where I was brought up with my mother. I had a couple of dead-end jobs, cleaning cars as a car valet and making wooden pallets.
And we talk about, being of the minority. During your school years, did you encounter any racism?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. With being a little black lad down in Donington, they thought I was easy pickings. I'd be lying to say that there wasn't any racism along the way as well. But thankfully, my father paid for my lessons to go to karate. So when confronted, I was able just to sort of sort it out myself.
So when did you first encounter a racehorse?
Well, they first came into my life while I was still at school. My Uncle Errol had paid for a few pony lessons and I didn't really take to that. I got run away with once and fell off the second time, and I didn't really like the idea of riding racehorses.
I think he had about 4 or 5 lessons and he says, oh, I'm not going back because he got run off with, and and I thought, he's got to go. And so I persuaded him. Come time for him to leave school, I had a factory unit which I was remanufacturing car parts, and I can see it clearly as day. He came up 3 Saturdays afternoon when he knew everybody was gone and there was only me there. I said, what's this? He didn't say nothing. So I was down the local pub the night, and my elder brother, said to me, has Royston been up to see you? And I said, yeah, I think he wants a job, but he doesn't know how to ask for a job. He says, nah, he wants you to get him back into racing. He thinks these dead-end jobs are no good. Well, I was overjoyed.
I was 19 at the time, 18 coming on to 19, so I basically left it down to my uncle. He was kind enough to contact the racing school and basically sort everything out for me.
I knew the racing school, the cut-off date was 16 to 18, and I thought, he's not going to get in. But fortunately for me, the director of the racing school said, what's your involvement with horses? I says, well, I've had a few point-to-point rides, and I ride out nearly every day for Gordy Edwards. And he said, you ride out every day for Gordy Edwards? And I said, yes. Well, he says, I come from the next village. And so I then said to him, well, if you come from the next village, you must see me, because I'm the only black bloke, that rides out. And he said, oh, we know you. And so then he said, well, leave it with me. I'll see if I can get him some funding. And that's what he did. And it all started from there. He was there for about 6 weeks. And I had a telephone call from the racing school, and they wanted me to come and watch him ride. Me and my brother again and his mother went down to watch him ride. And at the time there was another lad there, another jockey, and it was Paul Doe. And I think I watched about 18 of them going up the canter, and you could plainly see that him and Paul Doe was the best. They said to me then that he's really improved, and he'll be good for the sport.
So we arrived in Newmarket. You've gone to the racing school for the period of time there to do your training. Whereabouts was your first job in Newmarket?
Sort of spoke to my uncle again, and he was kind enough to contact all the sort of top trainers, Sir Michael Stout, Luca Kamani, and it was Luca's where I went. Myself, my uncle Errol and my uncle Conrad turned up in obviously Lucas stable, 2 big black fellas, a little black lad. It wasn't really, you know, you never really seen that, and everyone sort of acknowledged that when 2 big black fellas were peering through the glass window in the trotting ring, and there I was. You know, I don't think they really knew what to make of it.
So, but the reception was warm and welcoming once they knew who you were.
Yes, there was a few laughs and giggles along the way. You know, I had a fantastic time there. Very, very fortunate. High Rise, they obviously won the Derby. Zamarada won the Italian Oaks, and obviously bred Dubawi. Calanisi, many, many horses. I was very fortunate to be at Lucas at that time. I was champion apprentice in '97. Tony Hind was my agent. It was an all-round great combination, and with Uncle Errol on the sidelines, just keeping me on the straight and narrow. As I was losing my claim and become a fully fledged jockey, I was riding for Mark anyway, and I think he did offer me a job up north.
So what was it like turning up then at Mark Johnson's in the cold north of Midland?
Very different to Newmarket. I cold it. Very much colder, which I wasn't quite used to. And just sort of riding out 4 or 5 lots, where in Newmarket you'd perhaps only ride 3 lots. Life in general was very, very, very different.
What was it like being in the weighing room at that time? Did the senior guys accept you well?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously coming from Lucas, Frankie was always very helpful. Ray Cochrane, who was also at Lucas years before that, very, very helpful. Kevin Darley, Michael Tebbett, all the senior lads that, you know, they looked after me very well. So
you never bumped into any racism within the weighing room?
Yes, I did. There was a couple of senior lads that got a little bit naughty, but I was able to confront them and sort it out.
So Royston, after 5 years at Marks and Kingsley House and getting cold up the north, the sun beckoned. How did Dubai come an option?
Yes, I just found it very difficult to get rides in the UK over the winter, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to go to Dubai and work for Godolphin as a work rider. Got my licence out while I was there, and started riding, and had a couple of rides for Ali Al Rahi, which then I was approached by Yasser Mabrouk to see if I would be interested in taking the stable jockey's job.
And building that up over the next few years, we're coming towards the 2010 Dubai World Cup. Talk us through it.
Quite amazing, really. Obviously, getting a ride on World Cup night, it's something special. And as I always am, very confident and always try my best, but realistically on paper, I think it was about 40-1, the outsider. But I can remember it like it was yesterday. I think I was meant to sit in a handy position. That didn't go to plan. I was sort of mid-div. And as the race progressed, Al Shamali was just progressing himself. And I thought I might have a bit of a chance here. Turned in, still had a lot to do, but he was going forward for me. So as you do, you give it your best. And he picked up on the wide outside and run on very strong and ended up winning.
El Shamali has got to the front for the locals. Royston drove him clear. Bankable into second spot is flashing home. It's all too late. It's a local Dubai duty free. El Shamali has beaten Bankable.
I don't do sort of celebrations after the line, and it was, I think I remember recalling just putting my head down, shaking and thinking, has this really happened?
And you've really put all your cards towards Dubai now. You're one of the leading jockeys and have been. You've ridden over 300 winners in Dubai. Do you feel the amount of time you spent in Dubai affected your career over in the UK?
Yeah, I think sort of once you're away for so long, out of sight, out of mind, you know, all the other lads and lasses have been in through the winter, putting the graft in while I'm still sunning myself in Dubai. A lot of people do actually say to me, oh, well, the UK doesn't really matter. And I said, well, no, I actually would still, you know, like to ride as much as anyone else, because obviously I'm still very motivated and very driven to ride and succeed.
I'm very, 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 very proud. He's a jockey, but to me, he's an horseman. You know, I ride horses. I haven't rode for a while. You know, well, he's fulfilling my dream because I wanted to be a jockey.
And it's a rarity you see nowadays. Obviously, you, myself, Royston, we were singly the only non-whites that you'll see riding out. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's an option for other people with an ethnic minority to come into the sport of horse racing?
I absolutely think it's because they don't know. The racing establishment don't promote it. Times change, and I think it's changing now. If the jockey club or whoever can promote it, like, you know, I think it'll get better.
And now we sit here now, we're both 46 years old. What do you hope for the second half of your career?
Not too sure at the moment, but I'd definitely like to put something back into racing, what I've got out of it. Whether it would be jockey coaching, teaching kids how to ride, stewarding, not too sure, but definitely something within the game.
And it's Black History Month here in October, and we're looking at how we bring, you know, more to make racing more reflective of society. How can we make racing an option for more ethnic minority communities and youngsters coming through?
Well, that could also be one of my other options, you know, going into the inner city and just talking and educating the younger generation.
So making racing an option for everybody?
For everybody, absolutely. And, you know, people seem to forget racing isn't all about just being a jockey.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Royston, it's been fantastic to come and speak to you today. You've had an amazing career, and I can see the second half being as fascinating as the first.
Thank you very much, Josh.